This is a Volvo EX30 twin motor Ultra, and we're gonna start this video with a little magic trick. That's right, Volvo has taken up some of the things that Tesla does really well, and they've actually created a well-priced, fast, and fun to drive electric vehicle. I drive a lot of vehicles at this point, a lot of electric vehicles, and this thing has actually taken me back as something that's really fun to drive, and it's quick. It does 3.4 seconds to 60. That's currently faster than any Model Y currently produced. Now, the new Model Y Performance will be coming out. It'll probably also do 3.4 to 60, but let's take a look at this thing. First, let's start off with performance. 422 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque from a 69 kilowatt-hour pack. It also has all-wheel drive, and it has up to 153 kilowatt DC fast charging capability. It has one pedal driving, and it has an 11 kilowatt onboard charger, and these are the 19-inch wheels. On the interior, you have the 12.3-inch center display that comes with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also has Google built in with Google Maps, Google Play Store, and Google Assistant. You have two of the NFC cards I showed you at the beginning, and you have the Volvo Cars EX30 app. It also has a beautiful Harman Kardon sound system, perfectly implemented and tagged right in the front of the dashboard here. It looks and sounds beautiful. It has a fixed panoramic glass roof with 2-zone automatic climate control, a black rear spoiler, an air quality system. So if you go to Taco Bell and someone unleashes in the car, you will know quickly if the air quality has gone down. It has a 360 surround view camera, and the warranty is 48 months or 50,000 miles, or 96 months and 100,000 miles for the hybrid battery warranty. I'm not sure why it says hybrid, because this is an electric vehicle. This also comes with complimentary factory scheduled maintenance for the first 4 years or 40,000 miles for your first full diagnostic checks of all passive and comprehensive equipment on the vehicle. The MSRP of this vehicle after destination charges is $48,395. Now, up front on the EX30, again, one thing I love about electric vehicles is having frunk storage. They do not do a great job of this. In fact, there's only enough room for these walkie-talkies here. One of my subscribers sent me this and founded this company. So these walkie-talkies, you can have 10,000 people on a channel and you can talk worldwide with them. These are totally secure. These are great for fire departments, for schools. That way one person can communicate with everyone and the line's secured, so it's not using public frequencies. In fact, Andy, the owner, and he was in Okinawa, Japan airport, and I was in Pennsylvania, and we had a conversation. Check this out.
Hey, Ben, it's Andy in Okinawa, Japan, getting ready to fly back to Tokyo. Just wanted to check in and see how things are in Pennsylvania.
Everything is good right now. The Gjeebs organization is just trying to keep the power on at the house so we can keep editing, but your voice is coming through nice and clear.
Fantastic. Glad to hear things are doing okay back home. I hope you keep the power on there for us.
And I got to say, driving across the country, I was talking to my
parents and talking to various people, and just lost signal multiple times.
So what did you guys do, or can you disclose how you're able to get this clear signal?
Yeah, absolutely. So unlike a traditional walkie-talkie,
these are based on cellular technology, and we've negotiated with all the major carriers, whether it's here in Japan or back in the United States or Canada,
to have crystal clear coverage. And the nice thing is you're not just tied to one carrier, you're tied to the carrier with the best signal. So if you've got AT&T, but
it's really bad in one area, no problem. You'll jump on over to another network. So it's a lot of redundancy built into the system.
That way it makes sure that you've always got the best connection you can wherever you go in the world.
And that's incredible. And also the fact that you can get up to 200 users on a channel and have multiple channels, like I was reading on your website. It's a really good use case. So I am excited to see, what my viewers use these things for. And just thank you for sponsoring the video. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. And I'm excited to see how people use these things.
Well, sounds great, my friend. A big arigato from Japan. It's a pleasure to work with you. And yeah, I hope we can get some of these out to your viewers. I think they'd come in real handy on family road trips or coordinating at work or logistics, or even like I'm doing, staying in touch with everybody literally 7,000 miles away. So thank you so much for taking time, my friend. Stay safe there with all the floods and the rains that are happening.
Thank you, you too. So Andy's a big supporter of the channel. He sent me these, and I just wanted to bring these to everyone's attention because they are excellent. Check them out. I will have the link in the description. These are incredible. And Andy, ICP, great job developing this, and thank you for sponsoring the channel. Around the front here, the headlights, really cool looking. And then you have some ventilation, some active vents that will open and close depending on what the car needs. You have your front-facing camera right here, so that is great. Overall, just a well-designed vehicle. And with electric vehicles, like I always say, you have the inconvenience on road trips where you have to find charging, right? So when you get an electric vehicle, it needs to bring something else that a gas car can't bring. And in this case, it is performance and the ease of driving. You think, when you're driving a gas car, like if you go from a stoplight, you're generally like, the higher the mileage gets, the more you're like, is something gonna go? You never get that feeling on an electric vehicle because there are so few moving parts, and this drives incredibly well. So we'll take a look at the seats real quick and some of the unique features of the interior. You can see right here, it says EX30. I think that is really cool. And then you have your traditional switches that a lot of gas cars have. It's not like with Tesla where there's just two buttons here and a turn signal and you rely on the screen. There's actually some buttons here. Now I will say, the buttons right here on the steering wheel are terrible to use, and you're also kind of always bumping this as you're turning. So I don't love that. But overall, the ease of use, the way that these feel, and the way that the seats feel and the materials are excellent. You can even see along here, it actually looks like styrofoam. It's a hard plastic. It's some sort of recycled material. That's what they're all about with this vehicle, is using probably recycled materials from the ocean. Maybe any time they find like a body in the ocean, they just kind of mix it up and sew it into there. So that's kind of a nice feature that I like. So this is my driving position. Sorry, no, this is Andrew's driving position. Andrew's 6'3". and I'm 5'12", so we gotta, all right, I'd say that's about my driving position. So let's see how the back seat is. Charge port right here. Again, charging speeds up to 153 kilowatt hours. The difference though is, oh, so these go in alphabetical order there. You have to do that in the proper order. The difference, and you might say, okay, well, Tesla's max charging speed is 250 kilowatts, which is significantly faster than this, but the charge curve is what matters, because the Tesla hits 250 for a little bit and then falls off quickly. So I'm curious to do a charging test on this and then compare it to mine. But let's jump in the back seat. Ooh, forgot my sunglasses were down there. I'm happy I saw that. Okay, we are tight. We are tight in the back seat. What I will say though is the heat rejection on this roof is sweat stains back there. What went on in this thing? The heat rejection from the roof is very good. There's not a lot of space in the back. I will say that, again, I like the materials. This brings something unique. I think the only other car I've seen this in was another Volvo. These, I think they're wool seats. We'll have a fact check on that on the bottom of the screen because I just made that up. But they seem like wool. We have some type of tray here, so you can actually do a reach around from the back. So if the driver's playing games with you, you can go, hey, you can do that. That's a cool trick. Center console, center armrest does not, there's no folding center armrest in the back. And then what do we have here? Oh, the windows have these two buttons right here. So if you press these up, they're automatic. And that's how that works. Now, another cool feature about window buttons and simplicity in this vehicle is in the front. This is a unique feature here. You can see there's only two buttons for the windows, and that controls the front windows. So if I want to control the back windows, I tap this, which says rear, and now that puts the back windows down. So I thought this was a really nice job of just keeping it two buttons and adding this, and then you can control all four windows. So just a unique feature. Another unique feature of this on the interior, again, really good use of space. That releases your cup holders. You do one tap in, now you have one, and then another tap, and you have two. So not only do you have the unique engineering of these two buttons, you can remove this out of the way. You have this little compartment down here where you have two USB-C chargers, and you have your wireless phone charging. And what I like about this is, oh, look at that little warning there. Remember, okay. And then down here, it's just out of sight, out of mind. It's out of your way, and you can keep your focus on the road. So they've really done a nice job with the ergonomics of this vehicle. Another thing worth noting is in the back seat, the floor is basically flat. So that's another thing I like to see in EVs, just giving you as much space as possible. The cabin is smaller than a Model Y, and the Model Y costs just as much as this. But if you don't need the space of the Model Y and you want something fun to drive with actually good technology, this is absolutely it. Like I've truly enjoyed driving it. So let's take a look at the trunk. So to open up the trunk, there's a little button here we'll press. automatic up and down. And there's a decent amount of space. Again, not everyone needs the space that the Model Y has. Model Y is significantly larger, but there is a nice sub-trunk down here for storage. You can see the car has its own charger there, NEMA 1450 charger. So you do have storage down there. That's a nice feature of the vehicle. And this also has an app, so you can remotely control it, turn on the air conditioning, all of that stuff. So you don't see a ton of these on the road. They're great to drive. So if you go with the EX30 over the Tesla Model Y, what are you missing? Here's a couple things. The first thing you miss is cooled seats. So all Tesla Model Ys, no matter what trim you get, come with cooled and heated seats. The other thing is just the infotainment technology. Now this has Tesla's full self-driving supervised. The app works incredibly well for remote access, and it has an active security system called Sentry Mode, which is a built-in dash cam and a built-in security system. So if someone breaks into your car, if something crazy happens on the road, it all records that internally into a USB drive that sits into the glove box. So that's really good. So really the main thing is, yes, the space difference, but the technology that is packed into the Model Y is a huge value. But again, some people don't care and they just want to have a car that's very fun to drive. And that's why I'm so excited about the EX30, is they did so much right. Now, before we take it for a drive, I want to show you the infotainment system here. You can see some really nice animations with the air conditioning. Air quality in here, good, so that's pretty cool. And then you swipe down, we can go to the iPhone. You can see Apple CarPlay is wireless here, very responsive, so that's nicely done. But then you might want to look at controlling the vehicle itself. So it's actually integrated fairly well, jumping from CarPlay to the car's native system. If we go to car status and then settings, you can do driving, and you can adjust all of this. So you can do your pilot assist and steering assist. We turned that on. And then you can change the interval to the distance between the car in front of you. One pedal driving, I turned on performance all-wheel drive, and that prioritizes performance over range and disables one pedal driving. So there's actually some decent settings that you can scroll through in here and control the vehicle. You can set up different profiles, and then you can see connect the EX30 app. I think it's great to have an app that actually works. Yeah, and then you can see right here the charging. So daily drive, they recommend going to 90% in this vehicle. And then if long trip, you charge to 100%. And then you can do a custom setting. So if you want to charge it to 50%, you can set it there, but we'll leave it on 100. And then limit charging current, and that can prevent overloading of lower capacity outlets. So that is something you definitely want on. So yeah, this is just, I think it's pretty well done. I mean, I just overall really like the system that they've developed here. Really high resolution display here. And also, we're currently in this parking garage. It has charge point chargers. So Andrew is getting free charging on his vehicles. And that's something that with electric vehicles, there's still a hack out there. Sometimes a lot of companies will have chargers on their campuses or colleges, and you can get free energy in your vehicle while you're at school or while you're working. So it can be a huge money saver, and especially on a car like this that isn't crazy expensive. Also check your local dealers for any lease incentives that they have on these things, because with the tax credit expiring September 30th, these dealers want to get rid of as many of these as possible. It also has Google Assistant. You have YouTube built into here. I haven't tested this, so let's see here. That was pretty responsive in terms of the keyboard. And there we go. You can get the, oh wow, I just realized I left all caps. Look at that. I didn't realize that was in the thumbnail there. So it has a high resolution display that shows you mistakes you left on your thumbnail 7 days ago. I quit, this compared to that, try this, what happened. So anyways, it has some cool features built into it there that I think you would actually use. Like overall, I'm just very pleased with the quality. Also, look at this ambient lighting along here as I try not to rub Andrew's leg. Yeah, overall, really well done. And look at this Harman Kardon sound system. See the speaker built perfectly into the front of the vehicle, and then this mesh netting matches almost perfectly. So just little details. The fit and finish is excellent. The ride quality is excellent. Let's drive it. So there's your 360 above view, and then look at how clear the backup cam. Really good refresh rate. Excellent job. Like if you drive a Honda right now or a Nissan, there switches to the front cam. Look how nice that is. it's just really well done. A Honda or a Nissan right now, Toyota, have the absolute worst camera system. And those aren't like expensive things. Those cost like a couple bucks to implement a really nice 4K or 1080 at least camera. Some of them, I mean, actually looked like they were filmed on a TI-89 Texas Instrument. Are those even made in Texas? What's with that name? Yeah, the suspension on this thing is really well done. And the other thing that I find interesting is the way the power hit comes on. It's a little delayed. So you floor the vehicle and it's a little delayed, and then bam, there's a big hit of power. So 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. It's pretty crazy. Another unique feature of this car is when you put the turn signal on, if I just put a right turn signal on, the sound is coming from the right side. If I put a left turn signal on, it comes from the left side of the vehicle. So just a nice touch. Now performance, I mean, it's crazy how quick this thing is, and the suspension is so well done. You can also turn off your regenerative braking if you don't like that feel. Regenerative braking is when you let off the gas, the car will slow down and recuperate energy back into the battery. Some people don't like that feel, and that's fine. And you can turn that off as I previously showed you. But yeah, overall, the car is quick, great sound system, great technology, good ride quality. It's everything you'd want an EV to be. And as long as you can charge at home, you're going to be fine. Now, range for road trips, it'll be okay. For a round towner, this is an excellent choice, and it's very small. It's nimble. You're able to get it into parking spaces easily, and you're going to win basically every drag race from a red light in this thing. So that's exciting too. I just think people are really going to like this vehicle. I love the shape of the steering wheel. I don't know. I also like this graphic right here. You can see, you know, the lanes and the car in front of you. It's actually looks very similar to Tesla's system. So that's interesting as well. But yeah, the EX30, really nice job that Volvo did here. These are ultra safe. They're very efficient because it's an electric vehicle. And I just think you're going to enjoy driving it. Plus it has Apple CarPlay, and some people live or die by that. Then that's fine. We support you too. Now, I did just drive my Tesla Model Y 6,000 miles across the country. So if you want to see that, click this video right here. I'll show you what charging is like, show you the deficiency of the vehicle, and anything else that comes along with a electric vehicle road trip.